Hey, what it is, everybody. This is your boy, Mr. E, Boss of the Southside Bosses, coming to you here live on the Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing podcast. You know, the podcast where I be just talking and y'all gonna get something out of it because I don't be saying nothing. You heard me? Glad y'all could tune in with us today. We got a great show for y'all, man. And I just want to let y'all know, man, this is going to be something that is unprecedented. We're bringing things to you that nobody would have ever seen before, because we just want you to make sure that you understand that it is getting rough. It is getting rough. We've been saying this for a long time. Been saying this for a very long time, that it is getting rough. And it's time to show y'all exactly what we mean. We've been saying this for years upon decades upon centuries, that this system had to come to an end soon, right? Well, they're putting it to an end, and y'all are not going to like what the effects of it are. You think it's bad now? It's getting worse. So today we're going to be talking about the unarmed black man that got killed, shot out there in LA, you know what I'm saying, by the police. And what makes this so unprecedented, you know? Well, not unprecedented, but pretty much like it's blatant. It's in front of you now. If Rodney King wasn't it, then this would be it right here. George Floyd wasn't it, then this would be it right here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's obviously that they are up under certain orders to crank the heat up under our so-called black ass. You know what I'm saying? Melanated people, Asiatic people, we got to come up out of her. We integrated into a burning house, just like MLK said, man. We got to get up out of her. So we're going to be able to bring that to you. We also going to bring y'all the tale of two Donovans. Y'all, these are stories that y'all probably never even would have heard of unless you was watching BOSS radio or you lived in the vicinity where this is actually taking place. Because, you know, even though we have the internet, we have the news, international news and things of that nature, they don't cover our communities like that. I've shown y'all that. That's why we have Reggae Hour when we do Reggae Our African news, where we try to bring y'all the news of what's going on over there. I know we've been slipping on that, but we're going to be on it because we have seen some great stories that's coming out of there. Some stories of hope, some stories of perseverance, and also some stories of tragedy. So make sure y'all tune in for that. You can also find us right now. I'm going to take this time to let y'all know y'all can get us on your favorite streaming service. This is Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing. You can find it on Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon MP3, Deezer. If you got a podcast, a streaming service that you like to use and it covers podcasts, you'll find us on this. All you have to do is just type in Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing. You see it right here. Oh, wow. I was all off. You see it right here, right? Talking But Ain't Saying Nothing. No G's at the end of that, because, you know, sometimes you have to take the G's out of it so that we can get some peace and be able to talk about what's going on. Because, you know, real G's, they ain't really about that talking, you know what I'm saying? They just want some rectification right now. But anyways, you know, it's like I said, it's going to be a great show. So after a word from one of our sponsors and a little bit of music from your boy personally, Mr. E, Boss of the Southside Bosses, we're going to go ahead and get it pumping. You heard me. So I'll make sure y'all tune in, turn up, and zone out for that. And here's a word from our sponsor. Look like we ran into a little bit of difficulty, so just bear with me as we go ahead and get this fixed up for you real quick. But you know, we ain't gonna ever come short-handed. You know, this is just the forces that be trying to get us to actually stop doing what we doing, but we ain't gonna do that, right? We're gonna keep it going, because on everything we have to keep it going. But I also want to take this time right now to ask you to go ahead and follow us on your follow our other podcasts, which you'll be able to find on our website at sbcmovement.com, where you'll be able to listen to Revolutionary Hour. Revolutionary Hour has the information that you need to get out of the matrix that we are about to cover right now with these stories. You know, because it's too many times that we hear of us, these saviors or whatever, these pastors, these preachers or whatnot. They come in and they tell us that they peace and march and all this stuff. It's bigger than that. You know, I said we've been peaceful and we've been marching for 400 years. I think that it's time to go ahead and crank it up on them. But it's a certain way that we have to do this. So we talk about that on Revolutionary Hour. So I want to ask you to follow us. You can find us on all the streaming services that I listed before, and make sure that you share us to your family and friends, because I'm telling you, the more of us that gets this knowledge, the more it can be implemented, and with that, we can be able to save ourselves instead of waiting on people that we think has our best interests at heart, and they don't have our best interests at heart. You know they don't have our best interests at heart, so why are you even playing? I'm just saying, you know that they don't have our best interests at heart. If you don't know that by now, if you think that they could still change, then I'm sorry. You're about to get a rude awakening, and you may not even have that awakening then. You may just go down bootlicking from what, what we call it. It's because we've been showing you this, and we just hope that you actually get it through your heads that this will be something that can change your life. So you already know what it is, and if you don't, again, wake up, please, because like I said, the more of us that want to be free, the more of us that will, the more likely of a chance that we can actually see freedom. I'm not going to see it in my generation. I already know that. I'm going to die before I see freedom, but I'm hoping my children get it, because that's who needs this information right now. It's the children. So get your children over here, because mothers, you will be raising a new generation of warriors. This is the age of Aquarius, so we're going to be waking up to it all. So it's going to go down. Now, without any further ado, here is a word from one of our sponsors. And while we do this, take this time to share us to your family and friends. That way they can get in on this knowledge. You heard me? But we're going to be talking about Jermaine Petite from LA, and we're also going to be talking about the two Donovans after this. You heard me?
Feel the best you and save with any of our skincare sets. With either soap and oil or soap and butter, or a combination of all three. Heal your skin and keep it with the shine and healthy enough to withstand the sun. No matter what your skin needs, Southside Beauty Care will continue to help you through those rough patches of skin to the smoothness of butter dripping off of your body. Mix and match until you find a skincare regimen that's tailored for your skin and designed to obtain perfection. Come to Southside Beauty Care and see what we have designed specifically for you.
Okay, God, let me talk to you for a brief second, Lord. Why is it the good always fall victim to the double-edged sword? This happening more to the brave, or they can change on the shore. Scores of family destroyed because others wanted the sword. They golden now oil, it's a female of toy. You look into my mind and can you understand the recoil? I don't wanna be rude or even stick a finger in the wound. We are here with the wounds as we see love within the tomb. But we also see wounds and love what's come to light. Looking into the eyes of the passion to make you strive, and I feel alive, no lie. Even cry becoming a daddy, save my life. I'll always be here to ride until the day that I die. So I thank you up above, but I wonder what kind of life hatred or full of love with they experience. What we see is common sense, but even common sense isn't common hands. It's full of shit.
Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby.
Like the end of the car, spin some ends on the car. Still felt like a sucker until I get that Benz on the park. Won't push a start, but this lawnmower won't start. So now I'm stuck in this seat trying to cut this shit with no short. They know where to go for, so they set it roadblock. So I've been trained to be a train. I will put no stops until I put those drops in multiple bank accounts. Making these fakes breathe in via wait for them to bounce. I started with just an ounce of pride, look where I'm at. Creative adversary to multiple rapping rants. Taking out the trash, wait, that's been played out. Let me see if there's another way to say they phased out. Raised out the garden, they not weeds that can be smoked. No toke, I'ma choke them out before they make me croak. Watch their dirty mouth like soap, now talk correct. When you speak to your elders, use some respect.
On fire. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby.
Everybody wanna be Nipsey and Asbury. How you gonna be him when your heart is full of hate? Hypocritical irate. Nipsey stood for peace, even the Crips us for peace on the streets. We got too many disease, losing the way epically. The troops are getting out, gaining momentum as we speak. You see, we need the deeds of kings of all degrees. They are poisoning our water and forcing it on our seas. Trapped in the vortex, asking their God for forgiveness. I wouldn't forgive you either for acting like bitches. We sold our soul for riches, of years and catching switches. Straight to our best, we wasn't hollering about no digits or commas. Yo, check Obama, we got the drama. When you escape with your life if you get faced with the drama. I've adored my armor, so niggas get your palms up to drop you, motherfucker. I'm not gonna pick my balls up.
Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby. Please don't stop, it's too hot. We're taking it straight to the fire, baby.
Already, you already know that was your boy in the building putting it down, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep doing that every time. But first, let's go ahead and get in on it. I know y'all been waiting to hear what we got to talk about in this. But actually, before we do that, I do need to do one thing. I got to cover my own ass on this because the lawyers ain't going to keep messing with me if I don't. So let's go ahead and get the disclaimer in. You heard me?
BOSS Radio, Southside Bosses, its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guests. Statements or show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the site or the radio station, and opinions between talk show hosts may conflict. This site does not endorse anything as the truth. That you will have to judge for yourself. But we try to speak the truth on the owner's behalf and reserve the right to question the supposed truth. In this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and government corruption, it is sometimes hard to get to the truth, but we must try. It is not our intention to libel, discriminate, make hate, or annoy anyone. We believe that it is our constitutional First Amendment right of free speech to voice our opinions and our duty to the Constitution and country to expose the truth. This site takes no responsibility for the opinions of others and the postings of comments in chat rooms or forum posts.
This is talking. I ain't saying nothing. Yes, it is, boy. We talking and we gonna bring you something. So make sure that y'all tune in for this, man, for real. Cause man, they just released the body footage from Jermaine Petite, who was shot by the police about a month and a half ago. Now, the police said that they shot him because he had brandished a imitation firearm, saying that they didn't know it was a real gun, so they had to actually act on that because that's what the call was for. Somebody called in saying that there was a man walking around with dreadlocks. You're gonna hear we're gonna play the video for you, but I want y'all to make sure y'all pay attention to the actual fact that the police said that, nah, bro, that ain't no gun. He says, nah, bro, that ain't no gun. But the police still pursued with the intentions of shooting this person, this black man with dreads. You know what I'm saying? And I take this guy, this is a little personal for me because of the simple fact that, man, I'm a melanated person. I'm a melanated Asiatic with dreads. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to look out for each other. So what I want to show y'all is this video of what happened, and watch what the cop tell the other cop, but they still proceed to shoot this man. So just bear with me one moment while we get this going. You heard me? Okay, right here, share. And y'all just watch this video here, man. Now, they're chasing him down.
Hey, come here. Hey, take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket.
Now, I don't know if you heard that like I heard that, but what I heard was him say It's not a gun, but you know, let me. Okay, all right, because I see that I got something up. My apologies. I really want y'all to see this, and everybody that's listening to the podcast right now, you can actually go to our website at our YouTube page, Southside Bosses, because we definitely want to show y'all exactly what is going on here. So once again, we are going to pull this up so that you can see this again. Here we go. Let's go back. Minute 18. Hit at it starts.
Hey, come here. Hey, take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket.
It's not a gun, bro. Did you hear that? Did you hear the fact that he said that it was not a gun? Not a gun. So if it's not a gun, what deadly force do you actually need to take now? It shouldn't be any deadly force that needed to be taken. But watch this. Continue to watch as they continue to pursue this suspect.
Hey, drop it.
But this wasn't a gun, though. This wasn't a gun. This was not a gun. He specifically said it is not a gun. Yet they still felt the need to take excessive force. There's just no way else to explain the fact that the orders from higher up have been given to exterminate as many of us as possible. But why? We all keep saying it's racism and things of that nature. But why would the higher ups give an order like that, knowing that they're under the scope? They're under the scope of the whole world now. See, the world is starting to wake up. And we Asiatic melanated people are starting to wake up and realize that we're not really crayons. We are human beings. So we're starting to make moves. So they have been given the orders to heat the pot up. So all them crabs that's in the pot, they're going to boil alive. They're going to be boiled alive. And that's what I mean by the heat is cranking up. If you understand the concept of the dualities between the good and evil, the positive and the negative, you understand that there has to be an accurate balance for it, right? Well, this is them trying to unbalance the scales because they already see that we're not going anywhere. We are the original. So we will never fade. They will fade because they're the copy, the carbon copy. That's just what it is. They are the carbon copy. So they know they have to eventually come back into the originality that Mother Nature put forth. And they're fighting that. They need most of us gone as possible so that they can continue to relish in their spoils that they got in all the wars that they have waged in the 6,000 years of their existence. Now, am I saying that this is like all white people? No, I'm not saying this is all white people. I'm just saying the powers to be predominantly are white. Predominantly are not even white. They're hybrid Europeans. They've been giving y'all this false bravado that there's a race. Well, I'm finna break some news to you. They consider me white because my family is from North Africa. My family is from Northwest Africa, from the Mauritania, Morocco area. Yeah. So since my family is originally from there, they consider me white. I'm white to them. You know why I'm white to them? Because it has nothing to do with the skin complexion. They rigged this game up so that they make sure that you stay in the position that you're in. So that they can do what you just saw that they did to Jermaine Petite. Now, Jermaine Petite is an Air Force veteran. So to give you a little bit of background about him. So he's an Air Force veteran. He's fought for this country. And in return, he ended up with PTSD. So what ended up happening is what they thought was a gun, which I'm going to show you in just a moment, was not a gun. And it was something that couldn't even be mistaken for a gun. I'm sorry. Not in my eyes. So let's continue to watch this video as they show you what it actually was. So bear with me.
Hey, stop reaching for it! Stop reaching for it! Stop reaching for it! Don't move! Don't move!
It's going to slow it down and zoom in on exactly what it was. Now look closely. This is what they saw. This is what they saw and thought was a gun. After they cleared it that it wasn't a gun. He simply turned around and what he had in his hand, they saw it. I keep looking.
Get on the fucking wall. What's that in your hand? What's that in your fucking hand? Oh. What is? Bro, you said that's not a gun?
Wait, you said it's not a gun? Huh? Now, as you see, they corroborated that it was not a gun. They corroborated that it was not a gun. They said that it was not a gun. So why did you have to shoot him? Do you even know what it was? It was an auto part. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. It was an auto part that got this man shot because they thought it was. They didn't even think it was a gun. They knew it wasn't a gun. They knew it wasn't a gun. So how do you actually explain that to the people who are asking questions? How do you explain that? How do you explain that this man lost his life because you thought a simple auto part was a gun? It's amazing to me that we continue to play these games and act like we don't know that they're games. Yeah, so let me show you exactly what it was. It was this right here. I don't know if you can zoom in on it. I wish I could get closer. Matter of fact, can I get closer? I can get close. It ain't gonna let me, because that's how big the picture is. But that's the piece right there. Let's go ahead and go to. This is the piece right there. Right there. That. What kind of gun is that? Can anybody tell me what kind of gun would look like that? A pea shooter? A little one shooter? So, as you can see, they have cranked the heat up. They are going to get whoever they want to get, and they have to do it quickly. Why? Because it's coming to the end. That's why you need to go to our Revolutionary Hour podcast that you can find on every streaming service: Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, MP3, Deezer, and more. Hit that follow button and listen to those podcasts, because I'm telling you, we are in the we in the last days. I ain't trying to sound like no Christian, but we in the last days. We are in the era where it's do or die. And you can continue to play their game. You can continue to walk every day doing what they want you to do. Or you can actually get on board with Mother Nature, and that's the winning team. Can't nobody beat Mother Nature. When Mother brings the cure, we're all cured. As Taj Tariq Bey has said. I don't understand why we are actually trying to our hardest to play their game, to be black, when our skin does not scream that. Our ancestors did not want to be Toby. He wanted to be Kunta. But you being Toby instead of Kunta. You are the reason we are in this. We get so emotional that when somebody, especially one of us, say, oh, this slavery is a choice. I'm going to tell you like this. I'm with Robert Smalls. Robert Smalls stole a Confederate boat, learned them Confederate hand signals so that he could sail through Confederate ships all the way up to the north so that he could be freed. He chose not to be a slave. I like to be like Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman decided that not only will she get away from this bullshit, but she's also going to bring as many people as possible with her. She chose not to be a slave. I can continue going. Nat Turner, who died in the biggest slave revolt on this soil, chose not to be a slave. Yeah, there's choices that can be made. So either you choose to live as a slave or you choose to die as a freeman. Because when you decide that you're going to sacrifice your life so that you can be free is the moment that you are free. You got to throw off these chains of these badges of slavery that you continue to hold on to. You're not a fucking Negro. They let you have that because it's the simple fact that you didn't want to be called a nigger anymore. They the same damn thing. Where you think the word nigger came from? Negro. And then when you break it, Negro is a fucking term that means a color. It doesn't mean a human. And you claim you want to be that. Why? Because they said that they white. They said they white, so we got to be black because they pink and we brown. And the Martians are green and the people underwater are blue. People of the sun are orange. I'm not understanding this concept of wanting to be shackled to these badges of slavery. You have a chance. You have an opportunity now to go back to what your ancestors were. The Egyptians or the Egyptians as you know them, or the Kemets that you know. They was not ever a color. They weren't. The Ethiopians. The only reason they became a color is because the Greeks saw them and said, oh, they're Ethiopians because our word Ethiopian means burnt face. They weren't even Ethiopians. They was Cushites. Hamites. That's what they were. But, since these people who only started being in existence 6,000 years ago decided to tell you that they're white, so you decide that you're going to take on the term that they said is the opposite, which is black, not even understanding what that actually meant. That is, and a lot of y'all, I'm going to break a lot of y'all heart. Y'all talk about these woke black people who continue to say black power, black pride and all that. You're equivalent to the Christian black. You're equivalent because you're still holding on to something that was taught to you by your oppressor. We was black sons of bitches only up until a couple of hundred years ago. A few hundred years ago, excuse me. That's when we became black sons of bitches. Before that, we wasn't. Before that, we was their gods, their goddesses. Why? Look at what we can do. They couldn't do that. They couldn't look like that. They couldn't gather that strength. But yet you choose to continue being dominated by them. The people who couldn't match us, so they outwitted us. They got smarter than us. We taught them everything we know. And then they was like, oh, well, we can use this then. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're using it. They're using the power that we gave them against us, and you're allowing it because you think that what they gave you is something that's all bullshit. And I'm talking to the woke blacks now. Y'all think it's all bullshit and lies, but in all actuality, what they're doing is they're trying to counteract karma. See, you got to understand karma is a real force. We taught them about karma. So they understand that karma is real. They seen that karma is real. So what they have to do is they put you through so much hell. They tweak your truths just a little bit so that they lies. And then they feed it back to you knowing that you're going to take it because you are holding on to badges of slavery. It's the only thing you know. This is what you was born in. You are afraid to look outside of the box. This is for Black Christians, and this is also for Black woke people. Anybody who continue to go across this go along with the caste system of white, black, brown, orange, pink, yellow, blue, Singapore, whatever the hell you want to go, fuchsia if you want to be fuchsia. If you continue to go, that is a system they made. We keep saying that. We keep saying that the Constitution does not include us, but yet we keep trying to be included. Where the fuck they do that at? I apologize about my language, but we have to understand one thing, and one thing real quick, is that we'll never win playing somebody else's game. We've been playing their game for long enough. They've been stealing from us, using the money that they steal from us to pay the people that kill us. We are the only people that pay for our own destruction. You don't see this in any other part of the world. Only in America. The third world country with a Gucci belt on. But y'all get emotional. I bet you right now, sitting here, if you made it this far into the video, this means you already know what I'm talking about is real. And you probably don't even associate yourself with that race schism at all. See, y'all say racism. It's not racism, it's race schism. Look it up. This is where the whole word racism comes from. This is how prejudice came out and all the other isms came about. Because racism was really a race schism. But you don't actually know that because they didn't teach you how to read. And they taught you a Crayola, but they didn't teach you how to read. So all we could do is continue to play their game because that's all we know. But then when somebody tells you that you're not black, your emotions rise up. Oh no, you ain't finna just disrespect my ancestors, my black ancestors, and them black gods and goddesses of all the ancients. Let me tell you something right now. The word black didn't exist until the 1100s. And guess who came up with the word black? It's a Germanic word. It's a Germanic word. It's a Germanic word. I don't know if you heard me. It's a Germanic word. Germanic. German. You already know what the Germans think. If you ain't not the Germans, excuse me. Let me take that back. We already know what the main Germans used to think. That if you ain't blue eyes, blonde hair, fair skin, you ain't shit. You need to die. And the funny fact is that nigga wasn't even that. See, I can call him a nigga because that motherfucker was ignorant as fuck. Now, the only people that need to live on this earth is something that I'm not. Nigga, then start with killing yourself. We can get that out the way real quick. But we don't understand that. So, but we will one day. And I'm going to tell you how we will. We're going to continue to cover stories such as the story that you just heard about Jermaine Petite. They released the body cam footage. They actually acknowledged it wasn't a gun, and they still pursued him, which I understand, but they still shot him down like a damn dog, saying that he was armed, and he really wasn't armed. So when we come back after this brief break, again, it's going to be a word from one of our sponsors and a little bit of music from your boy, Mr. E, boss of the Southside Bosses. We're going to discuss the tale of two Donovans because this is shows you more evidence that they have given the orders to crank up and lock us down. And while I'm gone, I want you to take this 2, 3, 4, 5 minute break to look up King Alfred plan. We're going to discuss that one more time about the King Alfred plan, because with these new stories coming out about these black people that's just unarmed black people that's just losing their lives traumatically, we're going to have to discuss it, because the King Alfred plan is exactly what's going on right now. And let's go ahead and take a moment to break off. We're going to listen to a little bit of music. And before I tell you to do that, please go find us on your favorite streaming service, whether it's iHeart, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon MP3, more. We even on YouTube. You're probably watching us live on YouTube right now. You can also find our Facebook group page on obviously on Facebook at El Cabulon Society. Don't know how long that's going to stay up because they like shutting me down real quick. But we're going to be putting up files here real soon. We already put up the Emerald Tablets by Thoth the Atlantean, so make sure y'all go through and check them out. I mean, we're going to make sure that y'all got all the information and all the knowledge that you needed. So please go join our Facebook group page, our Cabulon Society. We also can find us on our website at sbcmovement.com, because just in case Facebook decide that they don't want me no more, or Twitter, they don't want me no more, I'm talking too much truth, or Truth Social, they don't want me no more because I'm talking too much truth, oh, we can't be having that. And Instagram, oh, we can't be having that. TikTok, oh, you can find me on my website, sbcmovement.com. You can see it right there on the ticker at the bottom. Make sure y'all stay tuned in, turned up, and we're gonna zone out on a little bit of music right now. This is On Everything by your boy Mr. E, boss of the Southside Bosses, baby. You already know what it is.
Southside Bosses. I hope y'all don't think y'all were just gonna kill us all, and we weren't gonna say nothing about that shit.
The recruits.
Do this for my people, and that's on everything.
When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on facing my conscience. I'm taking no shots with no losses. I'm finding some peace when the meds came. I'm finding some peace when the chairs came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's on everything. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's on everything. I stay on my job, that's on everything. Give it to them hard, that's on everything. I stack all these rats, that's on everything. I puff on these packs, that's on everything. Ain't no going back, that's on everything. We all staying strapped, that's on everything.
Forced into a situation for obliteration. Stuck us in the projects and started us racing. Casing up the game like we bout to hit a base. Stacking money cause we have to show them what they really facing. Invest in a motherfucking vest. We about to go to war and it's never gonna rest. I know there's no peace in the streets of America, land where the dark people stress. Oh yeah, it's one of them things at the time that we hang. I can see all the pain in the eyes of the brain. They infuse my fire like a kerosene blaze. When I learn about you, average in the records are the same. If my ancestors did that, then I can do this. Definitely prove this. Niggas on his own shit. Taking my heritage, I'm strapped with that metal piece. So your motherfucker better cease and desist. Coming in style mixed with a little wild home wing to a diamond by carpet style. Tries have a coke and a smile. If you not with the movement, I bleed for my people every inch, every mile. Fly away, you don't like what I say. I'm coming from mine and you all gonna pay. I can see you afraid. What is the niggas and a mule that you promised yesterday? Okay, I do it for my people, not equal, we original. Kinda makes sense when you motherfuckers copy style. I can break it down like a motherfucking pound. Never round if you really wanna get it right now. I do it for my people, not equal, we original. Kinda makes sense when you motherfuckers copy style. I can break it down like a motherfucking pound. I'm around if you really wanna get it right now.
When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on facing my conscience. I'm taking no shots with no losses. I'm finding some peace when the meds came. I'm finding some peace when the chains came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's on everything. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's on everything. I stay on my job, that's on everything. Give it to them hard, that's on everything. I stack all these rats, that's on everything. I puff on these packs, that's on everything. Ain't no going back, that's on everything. We all staying strapped, that's on everything.
Ain't watching treated to kill it ourselves off. They can't face it like a man, cause the best are too damn soft. Call a nigga in the cross, they master what's called boss. They can bust up at the job, the cycle is not long. Not to mention prison, not living, they kill you so long. Can you see the plan, killing ain't the people with a call. It's awful, but no one is left staring and all. We so decent, a time children on, kill them all. This world crumbling like Mary Jane, just to keep my focus clear while I'm driving the left lane. The wood switch lane, but it's so much damn pain in the past. Raining on the brain is if I put a pain. It's ain't my only excuse, this is how they made me. There's 6 people in my head and they all hate me. But I'm a soldier, you motherfuckers can't take me. On everything I love is the truth, you can't break me. The sounds of my ancestors, you listen to my spirit. If you hear it, it's enough to make you care my fucking spirit. My life is like a bus and I'ma be the one to steer it. I'm fighting for my people on everything till we clear it. The march and focus and you know we fed up. You really gonna hate us when we get our bread up. Set up like nation, I'm getting impatient. It's time to make the doctor really see the sick patient.
When they say more money, more problems, I'm thinking I don't got an option. I'm working on facing my conscience. I'm taking no shots with no losses. I'm finding some peace when the meds came. I'm finding some peace when the chairs came. I'm a provider, that's the best thing. I do it for y'all, that's on everything. Yeah, do it for y'all, that's on everything. I stay on my job, that's on everything. Give it to them hard, that's on everything. I stack all these rats, that's on everything. I puff on these packs, that's on everything. Ain't no going back, that's on everything. We all staying strapped, that's on everything.
Have you ever seen someone do something so outrageous that you can't help but think? This stupid crazy situations happen all the time, and people get into situationships on a regular. So, what would you do if you were in their place? Check out our podcast as we discuss just that on What Would You Do podcast on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all your other favorite streaming services. Make sure to search hashtag What Would You Do podcast.
Yes, you definitely need to make sure y'all tune in this Sunday, man. This Sunday it is going down. We have our first episode for the second season of What Would You Do? So we're going to be cranking up. We're going to be doing some big stuff, man. So y'all make sure y'all tune in, turn up and zone out with that, man, because we're going to make sure we have some hits for y'all, man. So, hey, this Sunday, we're going to give y'all a sneak peek. I usually ain't supposed to do this, but y'all here, y'all with me, you know what I'm saying? Y'all with me. So we're going to put this Sunday. This is the scenario. So you get a call from the hospital saying that your spouse has been in a major car accident and their life is on the line. So you rush down there. Hurry, you get off of work and you gone. You down there and you get everything in you to get up there to your significant other. So boom, you get to your significant other and you sitting on the side of their bed and you asking them, "Are you okay, baby? Are you doing good?" Yeah. And they doing good. They doing good. You know what I'm saying? It was a close call. You know what I'm saying? But then you realize that this is not just a single man room. This is a 2-man room. So when you inquire about who's in the next bed, you find out that from the nurse's point of view, them 2 people came in together. Turns out that was your spouse's side piece. So are you staying there to help them, or are you going to leave them right then and there? We want to know what you're going to do in that situation because, hey, man, it's going to be good. We got some good responses, and we definitely want to look at all of them, man, because it's going to be crank the F up. Already, but back to serious business right now. We got to understand that we are been hanging on to these badges of slavery forever, and it's time that we stop doing that. So what I wanted to show y'all is the tale of 2 Donovans. Very recently, and it's a shame that I don't hear about this more on the news, but there was a man, Donovan Lewis, who was just pronounced dead a week ago, a week ago, at the hospital after the Columbus police shot at him in his own bed. Yes, an Ohio officer killed a 20-year-old black man seconds after opening his bedroom door. Now, the police have every excuse in the book, but the killing was captured on police body camera. The man was not armed and was identified by authorities as 20-year-old Donovan Lewis, who was killed by Ricky Anderson, a Columbus police officer with decades of experience. Decades of experience. I want y'all to keep that in y'all head right there, because that's a clue to show you that this is a very dire mission that they have to pull out. They have to pull the quotas now. But according to the court records, Donovan was being served with an arrest warrant on charges of improperly handling a firearm, assault, and domestic violence. Okay, yes, so we got a violent crime. Good. But in the body cam footage aired by NBC4, the police officers were shown knocking on an apartment door for about 8 to 10 minutes before being met by a man who opened the door. Upon entering the apartment, though, officers found another man and detained them both. Now, they're not telling you what they detained them for. The officers then released the police dog, which trotted around the kitchen and then barked at the bedroom door, which Anderson was in the bed. It was in that bedroom. So, not Anderson, excuse me, Miss Lewis was in that bedroom. So Anderson held the dog back before opening the door and then immediately fired his gun into the bedroom as Lewis sat up in bed. Like, he didn't even give the man a chance. So you could break it down in a frame by frame breakup of this video. The police chief, Elaine Bryant, said that Anderson fired the gun when Lewis appeared to raise his hand while holding on to something. So you didn't know what it was. You didn't know what it was. But Bryant comes on and says there was like a vape pen that was found on the bed right next to him. And what the fuck that got to do with it? It was a vape pen. The vape pen looks nothing like a gun, just like that auto part looked nothing like a gun. It's amazing how we can continue to see this time after time after time again, and we continue to approach it with the same solutions, I guess you want to call them, that we've been going at it with, that does nothing for us. Now, thankfully, I hope this means something, because sometimes it don't. In Ahmaud Arbery's case, it did. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation took over this investigation, so they hopefully will be able to actually see if there's any chances that there was a propensity that these cops would have done this. Because if not, why would this decades veteran, do something like this? Kill Donovan Lewis while he's in his bed, and say that a vape pen looked like a gun. Again, they're cranking up the heat on us. They're cranking up the heat on us, and it's a reason why. Again, check out Revolutionary Hour. But you also have so many experiences, like another one. We said we was going to bring you the tale of two Donovans. That was Donovan Lewis. Well, I want y'all to meet Donovan Johnson. Donovan Johnson was actually walking home from work in February of last year, when he says that it was an Arlington, Massachusetts police officer ran up to him and told him to drop to the ground. So Mr. Johnson, he was confused. He didn't know what to do, so he continued to stand there and ask what was going on. That's when the officer, Stephen Conroe, pointed his gun at the 20-year-old black man and threw him to the ground face first and put a knee in his neck. Now, you would have thought that we would have learned this shit from George Floyd, but apparently we did not. We didn't. Because maybe they was promised not to be treated like the murderer that murdered George Floyd. They don't know any better either. These cops are pawns. Pawns, I tell you. And just see that when he threw him down face first into concrete, that obviously shows no care for this boy at all. That ain't even a big part. I know what you're saying. Well, that happens to black people all the time. Yeah, when they fit the description. No. Because until he ran across Mr. Donovan Johnson, they was chasing a white person. And you already know that white person is supposed to be pale people, right? Well, if you look at Mr. Donovan Johnson, you could tell he has a big afro. Big afro. Matter of fact, I want y'all to get a good look at him. Because, yeah, he is with a whole afro. Watch this. Bam. Whole afro. Oh, wait, y'all can't see it. Sorry. Boop. Boop. Bam. Whole afro. Do that look like a white boy to you? I don't see no white boy. I mean, I can see he's mixed, but I don't see no hybrid European. Hybrid European being the people of pinker complexion. I don't see that. You don't see that. So how did they determine that he was the person that they was chasing just now? So Mr. Johnson is suing these people. He's been suing them since, and it's still 2022. We ain't hearing about none of this. Nothing. See, the lawsuit is actually demanding unspecified damages and training for Arlington police on implicit bias, appropriate escalation, and interactions with bystanders. Because if it wasn't for a bystander, this man would have went to jail for something he didn't even do. And they would have stopped chasing that white person. Of course. Why would they want to catch the white person? That's like catching your own teammate. You don't tackle your own team. No, you don't do that. I don't care if they is running the wrong way. This is what I'm saying. That there is so many different experiences of black people that can be culminated together and actually be seen as what it is. It's the King Alfred plan. Again, if you have looked up the King Alfred plan, then you have seen that this fits so much into the plan. It looks like this is actually the plan, because you know why? It's the plan. You cannot sit here and say that it is not. Now, I want to go on and say that Wikipedia, because you know anybody can enter anything in Wikipedia, says that the King Alfred Plan is a fictional CIA-led scheme supporting an international effort to eliminate people of African descent. Wow. This was supposedly invented by an author named John A. Williams in his novel, The Man Who Cried I Am. Now, I think that's very funny as he named his novel, The Man Who Cried I Am. And also, Yahweh is I am that I am. The man who cried, I am. The man who cried, he was God. And look at this. I'm just saying, we need to take into account that there is so much that is happening right now. Oh, soon the concentration camps will come. They just won't be called concentration camps. Right now, they call it detainment camps. Up under the Trump administration, it was called immigration reform camps, or whatever they decided that they wanted to call it. I don't know. It was kind of weird. But as we can see, it has nothing to do with us being human. We're still being herded like cattle. And your own people are selling you down the river. So this is all up on you. Are you going to continue to play their game, or are you going to let this shit go, man? I say you let it go. But I can't give you all the answers. Because this is when you're supposed to determine, are you a person, a human, a natural person? Because if not, well, you'll fall to the wayside. I hope y'all got something out of this, because I don't want to see anybody actually fall to the wayside. It's just not. It's not feasible. So, if you got something out of this, I hope you share it to your family and friends, and I actually hope that you actually make some moves. I mean, go listen to Revolutionary Hour. If you don't want to listen to me no more because I drag on or whatever, go look Taj Tariq Bey. Go look him up. He told you what was going to happen since the 80s. Actually before then, but the 80s is when he was actually pumping with the Moors of the Round Table. So I'm going to go ahead and log up out of here. But before I log up out of here, you know I got to give you a word from my sponsor, plus a little bit of music. This is I'll Keep Fighting by Mr. E, the Gutter Baby. And again, make sure y'all go and go and share our music to everybody. Share these podcasts to everybody that you know. That way we can get some actual effects going on in this thing, because We gotta keep fighting. And if we don't keep fighting, man, we gonna be in the ground with no efforts, man. Come on, man. You gotta make it better for your seed. Like I told my seed, they gotta make it better for them tomorrow. They have to be better than they was yesterday. Ever at 9.
Boy, this skin a little too thick. When I came out, I bet the doctor thought I was mad sick. I got picked on the school a lot. The bully thought it didn't have a heart, it just feel like magic. But I came back scrapping, I give it up easy. Surprise the hell out of everyone. Better vow not to give up till they're gone, but I'll be here till I'm done. The enemy trying to make me run, cut money sticking me to live with from me. But it's alright, now the first time I did it all my life, I'm used to living for me. So get money and spend it with people like me, and we can make it through these storms. When you got family and friends, you can make it on a blizzard in the winter, feel so warm. So when it's on, it's on. Calculate on that before you in a rust on. This better battlefield, you are the invaders. We're not gonna be able to be good chums. But when did you flick us up like plums? I ain't gonna choke us, shoot us down in the streets. And I ain't talking about just the police, there's murderers free, giving more people grief. But do we hear about that? Selective here, we give seeds that's clear by flat. We're starting to notice the simple information, we clear the black rat, so black that's trap. And you'll wonder why y'all always trap, popping up out school, let me gun down. Always not funny when the shoe when you put up, when the rapper got their gun now. Trying to take me out, but the buster didn't know anything about my scalp. Come on, you know I'm from the south. Organized hits like a body count. Saw a D2 when I took that route, ended up in Texas. Watch out out. I can see the summer coming up like walking down the street, similar to climbing mounts. When opportunity arises, a prayer like a lion hunted to proceed to pounce. Real close to bank robbers, go hit the safe, get all the dough that I need to bounce. I'm known to come up off an ounce, even though one weight was 65. Even if I'm falling, got people needing me, so you know I'm gonna come back live. Come back ride, let it really cook dough that stove. Never ship dope for wet to get our staff teaching the whole damn clothes. Now we coming with a plan to take back what they stole to get what we're owed. I'm gonna go up, bluff, get rough and tough and make them cowards fold. If it didn't know my soul is gold, if it wasn't for my kids, I'd be so old. Fighting these bones can make you grow some mold until your body's cold. Just like Tyson, I keep on fighting. My lyrics and knowledge, the juice is lighting. I'm supposed to shoot through the booth that the roots never mutant, always shining. Get a richer picture while we steadily eating spam, and it's hurting me even more. I'm hungry cause I'm no longer eating ham, but they trying to put it on me like go once. I know you people to find no plan. I'm gonna creep up on the branch, but put 8 K's into that pocket. I'm gonna get me enough to stop it. I'm taking off, fire up the rocket. I'ma give me up out of here before they take me out like Johnny Cochran. I'ma give me higher than a plane and get the fly like Mary popping. No stopping, let it be just dropping. No telling, will I be a felon? Paint, let me tell him in this game back to the bank of that shit. Hip hop, they hellin', trailing like a fucking loser. You can say to be yes back to England. We hate the bland food that you're cooking. That's where we truly the whole world sees it. Please give me a final reason to blow this up like a radical Muslim. Cradle to the grave. I thought of the citizen, this just puzzling. Now I'm back home with my family, about to click back up with cousins, and we're gonna be fighting to the end. You know we always out here struggling.